people go for honor, and in that, for that they may not even marry, like some politicians. They don't get into marriage because they're happy getting so much of prestige through their welfare work, etc. But we are not this body, mind, intelligence, or even false ego. We are the souls. So soul's pleasure is different. That's spiritual. So once self is understood, then these lower selves can be controlled to experience higher self's pleasure. And that is real pleasure, soul's pleasure. Other pleasures are short-lived because they are material pleasures. Material pleasures are short-lived, whether on physical, mental, intellectual, or egoistic plane. They cannot be permanently present. So we also discussed 3.30. Krishna says that one has to become fully Krishna conscious to discharge duties as if in military discipline. So we have to have discipline in our life. Disciple only suggests discipline. If we don't have discipline, then we are not disciples. Just by taking initiation, we don't become disciples. One has shown some kind of discipline in chanting every day 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, following the four regulative principles, being submissive, humble servant of Vaishnavas. Based on that, one gets Diksha, initiation. And after Diksha, he cannot just give up all this discipline. Now there is no need of chanting, following four regulative principles. No, one has to continue. In fact, one can become stricter and stricter. Particularly Brahmachari means he has to be all the more disciplined. Brahmachari Gurukule Vastan, residing in Guru's ashram, Danto, he has to control his senses. High level of discipline is required. Guru Ritam, he works for Guru's pleasure, like a humble menial servant, becomes the best friend of his Guru. Disciplining mind is like horse having flaps on his eyes and then just sees forward, doesn't get distracted by so many distracting elements around. That much we discussed, so we'll go a little ahead. What is required for disciplining is life in the mode of goodness. Passionate people are hyperactive, having too many things to do, and many times ending up not accomplishing anything properly. In Marathi, there is a saying, Ek na dhad bhara bhar chindya. One doesn't have one full cloth, but one has so many strips of cloth. I had 10,000 strips of cloth. Can I put it on body and that will not act like kurta or dhoti? Better have one dhoti, one kurta than having thousands of strips of cloths. So like that, one requires little discipline, life in the mode of goodness. As Krishna suggests, yukta hara viharasya, yukta chestasya karmasu, yukta swapna bodhasya, yoga bhavati dukkha. Not too much eating, not too less of eating. In fact, there should be fixed time also of taking prasadam ideally. In preaching it becomes difficult, but otherwise, brahmachari, traditional brahmachari living in ashram, they would have some kind of, certainly there would be guru who would call the disciples, and sometimes the guru may forget disciple has to fast that day. Only if guru calls, then only. We can see our life, how indisciplined it is. Where is guru calling and all that, and we are all on our own. When we take prasad, we skip the regular times and then have normal times. We are having atyahar. So this is not what is expected. Discipline in life. Also, one should feel sadhana card. Sadhana card means what? An ignorant and passionate practitioner is brought to the level of goodness through the medium of filling sadhana card and reporting. Many devotees, when they are young, they feel sadhana card. Brahmacharis also. But afterwards, His Grace Hare Shambhu told him to, after they are initiated, you don't have to worry about. So I also gave up. Only one senior Brahmachari council is there. Every week he sends His Grace Krishna Lok Prabhu. Every week he sends sadhana card. How much body score? So he wanted to send elaborate. I said, no, only send body score, soul score, how much was hearing in the week, and how much reading. 4 things he sends. So he's very senior, maybe 20 years maybe in ashram. Still will accountability. We are not accountable. I was reading today, maybe I can read for you. In Gita Bhushan, Srila Baldev Vidya Bhushan writes, this Tadvidhi Pranipatena. Pranipat means offering respects like Dandavats. So who is one devotee in our life whom we offer respects every day, and he is hero in our life? We are so scattered. Vyavasatmika buddhi ekeha purunandana bahushakhai anantasya buddhayo avyavasanam. The intelligence of those who are not focused is many branches. So in our life, who is one person who is also hero and inspiration? We may say Prabhupada, but then we don't read Prabhupada books. Then we say my spiritual master. We don't hear him. What is who? So life is scattered in all directions. Pranipata speaks like Dandavas. Seva means serving these devotees like menial servants. So who are the devotees in our life? At least one devotee for whom on daily basis we act as menial servants. Is there anyone? So we discard all people eventually. A lot of impersonalism is there in our practice. That's why we become failures in chanting, because we are having quite impersonal dealings with each other. Pariprashna means to ask various questions about the Lord's form, qualities and powers. Who is the devotee from whom we inquire through various questions? So ahead he says, these men with knowledge, upadekshantitya jnanam jnaninas tattva darshana. They will impart knowledge because they have seen the truth. So that is being elaborated. These men with knowledge who understand their own Atma and the Supreme Atma, seeing your desire to know, indicated through your obeisance, questions and service, Panipat, Pariprashna and Seva. So you indicate that you desire to know to them, will teach such a person as you that knowledge of the Lord, for having seen the truth, Tattvadarshinaha, they are merciful and preach that knowledge. So unless we approach some devotee through Panipat, Pariprashna and Seva, they won't impart that knowledge to us. The knowledge cannot be, how will otherwise will acquire knowledge? The way system, parampara system is made, and we don't surrender in that way, then there will be a problem. So sadhana card feeling is very important. How many of you feel every week? You are a liberated soul. Some of you are not. So you should feel and you should show also to someone. And that person should give comments. That is accountability also. And then that maybe that to that person we have Pranipat, Pariprashna and Seva also. Eventually we don't want anybody to be above you, above us, isn't it? Just give me independence. I am Brahman now. Brahmanas are independently thoughtful, but we become independent only, and thought processing is lost, and Maya is cheating us, and we are not thinking also, not coming to realize that. Next, there is one shloka in 11th canto, 18th chapter, 17th verse, which he says, Maunani hani layama dandavag deha chetasam nahi ete yasya santi anga venubhir na bhaved yatihi. One who has not accepted the three internal disciplines of avoiding useless speech, avoiding useless activities, and controlling the life air can never be considered a sannyasi merely because of his carrying bamboo rods. Sannyasi is a person carrying bamboo rods. If he has has not accepted the three internal disciplines. What are the three internal disciplines? Avoiding useless speech, no prajalpa, avoiding useless activities, and controlling the life air. Mauna, that is avoiding useless speech. Aniha, giving up fruitive activities, that is useless activities. And Anila Ayamaha, controlling the breathing process. Srila Sanatana Goswami recommends for all Brahmin initiates, second initiated devotees, before they chant Gayatri prayers, mantras, they should do pranayama. So, because chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So soft chanting. Japa means Sulaghu. Sanskrit word for japa in 64 regulative principles as given by Srila Rupa Goswami in Chiri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is Sulaghu. Very softly. And that is japa. Sometimes devotee chant so loudly. That becomes kirtan then. Usually Bhakti Purus Bhagavad Maharaj becomes very angry. The devotee chant very loudly. So one should chant softly. And that is japa. Now what I was telling, what is the point? So this Gayatri mantra cannot be even chanted softly. Lips should not even move ideally. So in the mind only one has to chant. The mind has to be very pure, free from at least passion and ignorance. Otherwise, one who is in ignorance, he will do like this and he will sleep. In japa, when moving lips and softly chanting, then also we feel sleepy. Gayatri to like full liberty. One may sleep like anything. Our mind may keep wandering. So it requires high concentration. That's what Sanatana Goswami has recommended in Hari Bhakti Vilas. And the second initiated devotees before chanting pranayam. After pranayam, they can chant. So that is Anila Ayamaha, controlling the breathing process. So these three accepted by a sannyasi, then is sannyasi in the true sense of the term. Otherwise, he's a sannyasi. He is not a sannyasi then, just because he's carrying bamboo rods. No, he has to have those internal qualifications, three disciplines. Also, Prabhupada says in one place, for reckless drivers, there is need of discipline in two ways. Elaborate road signs. So, follow the lane discipline, speed limit, 60, 80, whatever it is. And then there is speed breaker coming, so they will show like this, like this, like this. So, otherwise this fellow, without that, he's going recklessly. Speed breaker he will not sense, sometimes he will not detect. The vehicle is so many jerks and all that. So elaborate road signs, and second is police enforced traffic laws. Is also there. So then it will be possible. Self-control. Self-control also means dhamma, discipline, controlling the senses. Senses are like morning we discussed, the chariot body analogy, in which they are like wild horses, which are not controlled by the intelligent practitioner. Then they will go in all different directions, and so many jerks, so much disturbance will be experienced by the passenger, the soul. We already experienced that in 21st century, staying in cities, so much passion. The already uncontrolled mind becomes all the more uncontrolled with devices like mobile, laptop especially. One has to be extremely careful. One who has control over the senses, he will be able to handle these devices properly. Otherwise, most others will be carried in the morning. At some temple I visit, there the brahmachari, nobody, there is no control by the management over there. Full access to YouTube and everything, and then they hear political news. Like my room is there next to that, the brahmachari ashram. In the brahmachari ashram only they give room. So there the loudly old devotee, brahmachari, 50 year plus, he is hearing in the regional language, he is hearing the political news. And there is no, and nobody minds it, no problem. If doing service, that is good enough. So self-control means practice of meditation. Our chanting should be very attentively done. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chanting, chanting of the mantra, manas controlling the mind. So this is a direct activity for mind, chanting. And we see how mind becomes very disturbed. It's like trying to catch a restless child. He will try to run away all the more, push you and all that. So much disturbance is experienced during chanting. All the senses are on fire that time. What is, because the controller of all the senses, mind, he is being trapped. Like a king is captured. How will the soldiers be disturbed? Like that. So it's very difficult. And it is self-control is the means for not indulging in sense enjoyment more than is necessary. We don't have sense abnegation, complete no this thing, and not do we go for overindulgence also. We have appropriate, what they call regulative principles of freedom. Just the right amount of sense gratification, that is like salt in the preparation, sabji, etc. If you add too much of salt, it will be so, what do you call, so bad. And if there is no salt, then also it is tasteless. Just appropriate amount of salt is required. Likewise, just appropriate amount of sense gratification in a Krishna conscious way. Prasad only, but then also not overeating. In the previous life of Narad Muni, as he tells in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, that he had controlled his senses. Those were his already existing qualifications. Dante akridanake. He was not interested in sports, as so many other children are. Balyavastha krida sakta. All children in their childhood are mad after all varieties of games, sports. But he was not like that. He was quite sense controlled. That is not a qualification for receiving mercy of the Bhaktivedantis, as told by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. But because it was like, these were like zeros. And he had quite some zeros like that. And then Bhaktivedantis came, to whom he was quite submissive, serving along with the mother, and he heard them. Once by their permission he took their remnants also. Sakrusma Bhunjata the pasta kilbishay. So thus one was added. He already had many zeros, so he became quite important. He could control his senses very easily. And in that very life, he had darshan of the Lord in the heart, by following the instructions of the Bhaktivedantis. And then eventually it was revealed that this life, there is some contamination. What is that contamination? Contamination of goodness was remaining. So that had to be purified. And next lifetime you will have darshan of the Lord at your will. Anytime you feel, you desire, you will be able to have darshan of the Lord. So self-discipline can lead us to having darshan of the Lord also. And so many other benefits are there. If we are sense-controlled, self-controlled, like that. Lower cells have to be controlled, body, mind, intelligence and falsehood. Then you are on the soul plane, and then that is key to real success, real pleasure. So much unlimited pleasure is there. Ramante yogino anante satyananda siddhatmani iti rama abhinaso param brahma vidiyate. Ramante yogino anante. There are unlimited pleasure is available. Because of not knowing that, we are only what pleasure we know already, physical, gross physical, sense gratification, that only our mind goes. So nothing higher is known. Known, not known. Known but not known. Achinte Veda Vettatu. It's known theoretically but not experienced really. So then mind goes to lower pleasures only. It is something like, it is said Indians are like, they are selling water pots, earthen pots, sitting on some stone, and he's selling earthen pots thinking somehow the expenditure was hardly any, 30-40 rupees, and I'll sell this earthen pot for 100 rupees, 50-60 rupees of profit, and I'll become very rich. But he doesn't know that where he's sitting, below that only, there is a pot filled with diamonds, gold, silver, etc. And unfortunately, he's just going on every day selling with this. So much pleasure is available through self-control, through spirituality for the soul, but not knowing anything higher because of identifying with the body for millions of lifetimes. The soul goes on in the same way, the same kind of enjoyment, physical enjoyment of eating, sleeping, sex life. That's it. Nothing higher is known, or if known, not really experienced. Just like if you have water on the waterfalls on the ground, it will always go in the lower direction only. Wherever the slope is downward, water will go that direction only. It's very difficult. Swimming also we know. If you don't put efforts, you will be taken downstream only. But if somebody exerts himself, then he can go up the stream, upstream. Otherwise not. So sense control leads to gradual attachment to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 5th chapter, 24th verse, Prabhupada's famous statement towards the end of the purport, he says, without being self-controlled, without being disciplined, and without being fully obedient, no one can become successful in following the instructions of the spiritual master. And without doing so, no one is able to go back to Godhead. You cannot go back to Godhead without following the instruction of the spiritual master. So in order to become successful in following the instructions of the spiritual master, one requires 3 qualifications: self-controlled, disciplined, fully obedient. Self-control. You have to control the lower selves, body, mind, etc. So fully one should be self-controlled, disciplined also. Things are rightly done on time, this way. One should learn the skill, and disciplined and fully obedient. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. These 3 are very important. Radheshambhu has that thing, DOS command, he says. D for discipline, O for obedient, S for self-control. One who is now the disciple is the next spiritual master. If we are quite disciplined now, and in the true sense, we are disciples, then in future we can become spiritual master. One who is not self-controlled, specifically in sex life, can become neither a disciple nor a spiritual master. He has not controlled his sex desire. So how can then he be an ideal disciple? If he is not ideal disciple, then how can he be guru in future? One must control the 6 urges. Vacho vegam, manasah krodha vegam, jivva vegam, udara upastha vegam, etan veganyo vishaheta dhiraha, sarvam apimam prithvim sashishya. Tomorrow you will get offer, please be a guru in ISKCON. I was telling him that they have passed the resolution that now we don't want few gurus with each having thousands of disciples. Now we want many gurus each having some few hundred disciples, so that everybody is taken care of nicely. Otherwise the guru doesn't know the names of the disciples, disciple doesn't know what he's supposed to do with guru. There's hardly any connection felt then. So they are having this new change may be introduced. So when you are being asked to be a guru, ask yourself whether the 6 urges are controlled or not. Urge to speak, urges of the mind, anger, tongue, belly and genitals. So then one can be a guru. And then one is Goswami, the master of his senses. So self-control is very much required. Discipline is one of the 26 qualities also of a pure devotee. One is not self-controlled, then one is living with his 6 wives. Even householder life also, there cannot be harm to a self-satisfied learned man who has conquered his senses. If the householder has conquered his senses, then he also can be undisturbed. And on the contrary, a sage may go to forest, yogi, but he is going to forest with 6 wives, 5 senses and mind. That's why self-control is very much required. A person who is not self-controlled will not be happy even with possessing the 3 worlds. Maybe Lord Vaman speaks this. There has to be self-control, then he is happy. Otherwise, possessing 3 worlds also one is not happy because self-control is not there. Complete discipline of the senses is self-control. All the senses should be disciplined. It is called a Dhamma. Dhamma means Damaha Indriya Sayyamaha. Controlling the senses. Indriya Sayyamaha is called as Damaha. And these are the qualities of a Brahman also. Shamadama, Shantirajamam Evacha, Jnanam Vijnanam Astikyam, Brahma Karma Swabhavacham. In Bhagavad Gita 18 chapter, maybe 43rd, 44th verse, Krishna says, Shama, controlling of the senses. Shama is controlling of the mind. Dhamma is controlling of the senses. Tapaha, austerity. Shaucham, cleanliness, external, internal. Kshanti is tolerance. It is not Shanti. Kshanti. Kshantir Arjavam. Simplicity means no duplicity. Are there some things we are doing which the world doesn't know? How many things? So we are not yet fully people. Duplicitous. Are there some things we don't want to see? Yeah. Yes. Shanti Rajam Evacha. Jnanam, knowledge of the scriptures. Vijnana, the practical realization of them. Astikyam, faith. These are the qualities of a Brahman. Quality of one predominantly in the mode of goodness is this self-control, discipline. If we don't have, if we are not able to regulate our own life and able to manage, then how will we help others to manage their lives? We are all preachers, counselors, leaders, but our life is only chaotic, isn't it? In shambles. Then how can we help others to regulate their own lives, isn't it? I mean, if you feel there's not much regulation in life, only regulated principles we follow is no meditating, no gambling, no illicit, no stuff. But as far as other disciplines that are expected, sadhana, reading, japa, morning program, a lot of fluctuations are there. Some things don't happen also. Chanting we do 16 hours because we have vowed at the time of initiation. If that was not, vow was not taken, 16 rounds also we did not do. Unfortunately, we have not taken vow at the time of initiation that I will daily read 1 hour Prabhupada books. So, then who reads? If only we had taken a vow that time in front of Guru, then somehow we would have read 1 hour. But because, not unfortunately, fortunately, that vow was not taken, Hari Bol. Let Guru read on my behalf. I am free bird. I don't want that. His Holiness Atmanivedana Maharaj was telling that when he came to Pune. Just like 2 hours of chanting Hare Krishna Mantra is compulsory at the time of Diksha one has taken vow. How nice it would have been if all the disciples during initiation take a vow, Guru Maharaj, I will also read Prabhupada books 2 hours. 2 hours I will chant 16 rounds Hare Krishna and 2 hours I will read Prabhupada books. Because reading Prabhupada books is like Shravanam. Then Kirtanam, chanting Hare Krishna, is very powerful. To the degree this Sambandha Gyan is powerful, to that degree Abhidheya becomes powerful. cut down our intake. Now I just almost for 2 hours I read Gita Bhushan. It was just how that's how I could quote also. What means I read it from there. So it's very amazing. Little higher, not as simple as Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is. Little technical. Actually, there's a lot of technical things. Prabhupada has skipped those technical things and has given just what our modern 21st century mind can understand, which is relevant also. It is given like that. Acharya speak very technical terms also. Prabhupada immediately brings it in this age. Brahmano, Brahma, what is that? Brahmarpranam, Brahma Havir, Brahmagno, Brahma Bhutam, all that, Prabhupada says this is not possible in Kali Yuga, then just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Everywhere chant Hare Krishna, and Lord Krishna who came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kali Yuga, he has given this process. That's it. Makes it so simple. So Brahmacharya also means Smaranam, Kirtanam, Kelihi, Prekshanam, Guhya Vashanam, Sankalpa, Adhyavasayascha, Nivrittir Evacha. As far as sex life is concerned, we have to avoid on all. Then it is considered a true Brahmacharya or true Brahmachari. Smaranam, they should not be even remembering, meditating on sexual activity. Kirtanam, one should not speak about it. Kelihi is, I think, directly getting into it, physical act. Prekshanam, not even looking at the opposite sex with the desire to enjoy. Guhya Bhashanam, talking confidentially, privately. Otherwise it becomes very dangerous. One should not be alone with a woman. So rule of 3 is Grisraj Shamru says. If some Mataji wants to talk, then there should be 3 people. She will be there because she wants to ask something. You will be there because you are supposed to answer. But just that is not enough. One more person has to be there. Grown up person, somebody. One more Mataji, one more Prabhuji, somebody. And also one should not be alone in a room with a woman or a girl or something. Sankalpo, making a decision, resolve to get into that action. And Adhyavasayascha, I'll have to see once. You can check Adhyavasayascha. You just type Kelihi. Then that shloka will. Keli shabda may come any places. Sankalpo. That's a Sankalpo you can try. Keli is dallying, huh? Okay. Flirting. Prekshanam is seeing. Guhya Bhashanam, intimately talking. Sankalpo, decide to engage in sexual intercourse. Adhyavasayascha, endeavor for sex life. That one is decision and the other is endeavor. Kriya Nivrutti Revacha. Getting out of. Engaging in sex life. One should get out of the 613 purport it is there. So this is very much required. Otherwise senses become wild. One boy said one profile came, he wanted to marry, profile came, and then that girl was also of loose character. So she called him someplace, you come and meet me. And there he went alone, only the both of them. Lost control. He touched her and all, something like that. He did not do sexual activity, but then he has not married her. Now who told to meet privately? Because of the force of materialistic life, to maintain sense control is extremely difficult unless one is specifically under the protection of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service. So devotional service is the key. Continuous engagement and quality engagement also as such. 24 hours at least. On our level, grossly we should make sure we are continuously engaged. So many services, either reading Prabhupada books, hearing lectures, or chanting Hare Krishna, or physical services. Something should always go on. No point of time we should be just what you call, just like that, having nothing to do. So many things are there. Like this Gita Bhushan I am reading, just 30% is read in that Kindle. Along with which, just fourth chapter I am reading now. 4.34, 35, all that. All the way out to go to 18 chapters. Earlier I read, in my travels I read Mahabharata. Very interesting. And automatically whatever I read, that comes in the lectures. So many places one Mataji online, she said, oh, your description of the war was, the way you described it was, because war, no? War, very terrible like that. Mata is soft-hearted and all that. And because I had read it, like, as it is description, I gave some part like that. It's very thrilling also to hear. So automatically, like, now it came like 40%. We can start it to goes. That only comes out. If only you have watched YouTube videos, that only not get it on that. One, some devotees, you take it for Maharashtra, nothing like that. I said, no, I don't want to go for it. But if I go on that movie, I will say, we saw that movie, Mahavatar Narsingh Dev. I will quote the movie. I will not quote Bhagavatam, or Narsimha Puran. Isn't it? They have made it seems based on Bhagavatam and all that. But we will not quote the sloka numbers, we will quote. It was there in the middle of the movie we saw, no? How let it not be like that. One devotee said, I'm sure you will never quote from that movie. Please, I want to sponsor ticket for you. Please go. I said, sorry, I will not go. So many devotees wanted to sponsor. Ruhi, have you seen Mahavatar? No, I have not. So let's go. I will take your ticket. I said, no, sorry, Hare Krishna. You go find some other devotee. I will not go. I think only seeing that movie. I've seen. But it's just already 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, that past time. So why should I go and see it? I want to hear it more. Thereafter you must have heard. Don't feel bad in case you saw the movie, and I know everybody has seen the movie. I went to at that time I was like, give Bhagavatam class, and very few devotees had come, and those who had come, they also rushed immediately because my Bhagavatam became a little longer. I had to take prasad and rush to the 10 o'clock. You got to wait for a question answer session. They all got up and so intelligence is shown by sense control. How intelligence is strong is seen by how you are able to control your senses. Because above the senses is the mind, and above the mind is the intelligence. Indriyani paranyahur, indriyabhya param manah, manasastu para buddhe, yo buddhe paratastu saha. Yesterday we analytically how these things function according to Gita Bhushan. What Baldev Vidya Bhushan says. How the mind goes by the senses. Some objects are more powerful than the senses. That's why they are able to attract the senses. And if one doesn't have that sense control, then like cats and dogs, one is always immediately inclined to gratify senses. Any sense object, for eyes, beautiful form, immediately one starts enjoying it. For ears, so melodious music. For tongue, delicious foodstuffs. For nostrils, fragrant items. And for skin, appropriate sense objects. And one just gets carried away. That means intelligence is very weak. That yesterday we read. I'll read it again. Sense objects arthaha are superior to or more powerful than the senses because they are able to attract the senses. The mind is superior to the sense objects because it is the root of the actions of the senses for sense objects. The discerning and confirming intellect is superior to the mind which has doubt, because there must be verification of existence of sense objects before action takes place. So mind may just want to go for the sense enjoyment, but the intelligence can control it. But there is no. Yesterday I was giving directly discussion there how I will not purchase water in the plastic bottle water. So the intelligence is convinced, no, that is not good. So normal platform water, and I have faith that that will not harm me. Whereas this will be very harmful. Like that. The Jiva or Atma, the enjoyer, is superior to the intellect because it is the means of enjoyment or experience. This Atma is the master, Mahan, of the body, senses, and internal functions and perception. Thus, we completely destroyed the realization of Atma. The wise say that the senses are superior to the body, made of 5 earth elements. This is because they are the occupants of the body. They are more subtle and are not destroyed when the gross body is various. The mind sets the senses in motion during the waking state. The mind ends the senses not engaged. At night and on, mind ruling and to such intelligence is superior to the mind because the intellect's function of determining truth, nishchay, brings about the mental function of decision, sankalpa. So you have this nishchay and sankalpa. That which is superior to intelligence is the jivatma residing in the body, whose very form is knowledge, which is realized as distinct from the body, senses, mind and intelligence, cause of complete destruction of lust. How they all function, that is described in Gita Bhushan, about the information. One needs to control the lower cells or mind, and then one can be situated on the soul platform, and then he can experience unending happiness, real pleasure. Self-control is the key to real pleasure. Okay, any question? Yes, so because we are mostly in passion and ignorance, that's why all the ups and downs are there. Otherwise, if you are in the mode of goodness, then you are not getting disturbed by the situations around. And you take also appropriately few things, few services, and you do them nicely. Not that you take 100 services and do 20, 30, and then so much feeling frustrated that 70 services are remaining. So, let's say yesterday I was taking a huge watermelon and trying to eat it as it is. After 1 hour also nothing is there except your tip marks are there on that green. It has become white now because green surface is removed by your tip. But you have not able to reach only inside pulp. That into small pieces and eat it. So one has to become regulated. Mr. Prayashwakadrishi Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. By reading Srimad Bhagavatam daily, by regular attendance in the Srimad Bhagavatam classes as proper translates. Slowly we will cool down. We'll come to the mode of goodness. If you see that Balyavastha Krida Sakta, so those children are very ignorant. They are just attached to playing and just. Then Tarunavastha Taruni Asakta. In the youthful days, while attached to women, runs behind opposite sex. That is passionate zone. And the middle life should be in goodness. That is ignorance and passion. And Chintagrasta. So many anxieties, daughter has to be married, son has to take admission in proper place, this, that. He should well settle nicely and all that. So many chintas. So thus is not in the mode of goodness. That is the period. In the early stage, a brahmachari may be very passionate, but in the middle age, maybe he can be in the mode of goodness, peaceful. All those shama, dama, tapo, shaucham characteristics should be prominently visible in him. With the days, months, years passing by, see to it that they are cooling down. If we don't commit offenses, then we'll come to the mode of goodness. And don't commit offenses and perform bhakti. But if offenses are committed, the passion and ignorance will increase. The brahmachari who could control his senses and join as a brahmachari, he will find difficulty in controlling his senses and he'll go out of ashram. Yes. You can still make a plan and form a group to be on practical level. Take help of some 2-3 more devotees. You are in one group. In Pune they have Vrindas, Jiva Vrinda, Raghunath Bhatta Vrinda. So they all have common reading together and all that. So then it becomes easier then. Like they have decided, now today 11 to 1 we'll read Prabhupada books. Even if you are out somewhere, you have to join online. So then something happens. Otherwise, ekaki amar nai paibal harinama sangha. Alone, nothing happens. What happens is we take rest for 2 hours, 11 to 1. Or something crazy, more dangerous happens. So take help of devotees. Then it becomes easier. And if 2 of you are reading together, somebody comes to disturb you, he'll feel little hesitant. With this fire reading Prabhupada books, and I have called Prabhu, Charumukh Prabhu. I think I will call him later. Isn't it? And even if this one call comes to you, you can say, Prabhu, I am in a meeting, something like that. So, sometimes I tell devotees, I am in a meeting. Meeting with whom? Prabhupada or Acharya, reading their book. So, we'll see that. Many times we feel others are disturbed and I am supposed to help them. But we ourselves are so disturbed, we don't have qualification only to help others to come out of their disturbances. We are so disturbed. We go and cry to some senior, and somebody else is coming to cry, yes, I will sort out all your problems. I am there. So, one who has internal conflict is over, such a person can help others to resolve their conflicts. Ours are so many conflicts, and the best thing is Grantha Bhagavad Seva and Vyakti Bhagavad Seva. Then soon we'll come to the mode of goodness. Is that okay? Yes. Any other?
We were discussing about mode of goodness. So discipline is very, very important in our life. So it also requires determination, because some days we try to follow certain things. This is like question we keep asking again and again, but we would like to hear from you. Because we plan something, it goes on for some days, and again it becomes tough to follow, and we come back with a passion. And
our intelligence is not so convinced. So okay, that is not that important. Now this is important. This has to be addressed. That's why I said better form groups. Groups of at least 2, you and one more. If possible 3, if possible 4, 5. More the better maybe. Isn't it? You are in one sense all of your youth preachers here. How many? 7. So all 7 should have a group and you can have reading together. Even if you go to vices, boys are not there in the daytime. Something like 11 to 12:30, 11 to 1, or 2 to 4, something like that. Boys are in college. So either you with your assistant, in case you have, you 2 read, or you 5 also, 7, whatever. Online, some in your own centers, you are there online. And reading Prabhupada books. It will nourish the intelligence and get togetherness, the feeling will be there. We are one. It will be helpful in many ways.
For certain things we can form group, but there are certain things which has to happen on one's own, like conviction only. Like for example, I want to add extra rounds. I want to get up early.
That also can be together if you feel.
Prasadam. regulation. So it is my choice now. Like
Right, those who fail to plan, they plan to fail. Is it written how your life should be? Monday morning getting up till Sunday meditating? Is it there on paper? So then how will it happen? It has to be on paper. And the paper should be in the pocket, and the pocket it should be taken out and keep watching and see how good you are in planning and how miserable you are in executing. And the failure will be a stepping stone to success. 1 week will be just becoming miserable. Oh, this time 2 hours, but by now 2 hours Prabhupada book reading should have been over. My even 16 rounds are not over. How miserably I'm lagging. So next time that guilt feeling, if sincerity is there, the guilt feeling will become instrumental in being able to read something and all. You have to a little bit slow down. How many of you feel that passion is more in your life than ignorance? That means you are hyperactive, trying to do 100 things. If your seniors, superiors are always chastising, what is this? This is not done, that is not done. That means that maybe you are in ignorance then. You are inactive or hardly active. And if you are at the top and you are telling all the boys, come on, this follow-up has to be done and this has to be done, that means you are hyperactive. So you have to be in the middle, not inactive in ignorance and not hyperactive in passion. In the middle, active. And the primary things are covered in that. We have that urgent and important, urgent but not important, important but not urgent, neither is urgent nor important. So like that. Those things which are most important, they have to be done. Should be there for them. Also that you might have heard that jar in which big stones and small stones. If you put all small stones, then the big stones will not enter. First what? Big stones you put. Then small stone will go in the gaps and all that. So major things of the life should be covered first. Major is 16 rounds chanting, early in the morning hours only, preferably before 7 hours. Prabhupada said 16 rounds at a stretch before 10 a.m. is the best chanting. So something like 5:30 to 7:30 you chant at a stretch, non-stop, or 5 to 7, whatever, depending on whether you are in youth center. Here it will be something like 5:30 to 7:30. In the youth center it will be something like 4:45 to 6:45, something like that. But at a stretch, non-stop, all 16 rounds before 10 a.m. they should be all over. So that is about chanting, and then reading, personal reading, morning program must be attended. Like today we had in the train, in the vehicle only, Mangalati Narsingha to study fast track Guru Vandana, because we had to complete our chanting, it was a little packed. We accomplished everything with fast track mode. And then reading Prabhupada books. I could read today. Yesterday and Saturday, Sunday, you people kept me so tight. And plus I got my own engagements also. Yesterday I gave 5 lectures to unofficial. So that's first time. So today I could get some time, 2 hours, to do something about Gita Bhushan. So one has to put something, something you have to do. Plan. Those who fail to plan, they plan to fail. Don't fail to plan. Plan. And keep it with you and keep watching. You will be able to succeed. Success is guaranteed for a rigid practitioner. So rigidity means planning and being little. Be strict with yourself. You feel you are strict with others, but you are not that much strict with yourself. Yeah. And others are scared. Prabhu has come. Prabhu has come. Let's run. Prabhu has come to Wise. But where will we run? College is the only place we can run. If we run to temple, he will shout, what is this nonsense? I came for you from temple to here, and you ran to temple? Yeah, Prabhu, because you came here. Na? And if you come to temple, I'll run to Wise. Running race. Hopefully not hide and seek. So, we are strict with others. Just little bit make a change. Be strict with yourself. Yeah, we are for us. Prasadam. Keep eating prasadam peacefully. We're not strict with our prasadam. Sleeping late night, sometimes too early. 7:30 only devotee wants to take rest. Sometimes on festival day only. The congregation member is dancing in the temple hall, and our brahmachari has put net for this mosquito net. I say, okay, now I'll take a rest. So, little disturbed schedules. Is that okay? Any other?
That's common devotees.
Yeah, so you all only have to decide. It's nothing like common book reading and all that. We can come together in a room and read our own books also.
Commonly, while we are reading, we will take some syllabus, but we have our personal interest, like we have a scheduled Bhagavatam or something. So how we can give the priority, like?
That is your decision. In my life, almost I never had that. We ourselves only read books. That's a lot of books we read.
Well, because sometimes some devotees will pull, like, we should do book reading together. They will
Yeah,
take
it is
some
nice.
syllabus. We cannot read our
Yes,
regular.
we can have that. That is good also. Achittamad gata bodhayanta parasparam. Goswamis would come together and they would discuss. Good. What is the problem? Your own reading remains. Basically, if you want to accomplish things in life, what you need to do is control your tongue. Don't eat so much, as you're eating. You overeat always. So reduce it, make it eating. From overeating to eating. Reduce overeating, it will become eating. I'm not saying undereating. If you are eating and if I tell you eat less, then it will become undereating. Already you are overeating, so reduce, it will become eating. That is appropriate. And don't speak too much. Also, if mobile can be kept away, that would be a great relief. You are a liberated soul. If your mobile is not within your hand's reach. When it is within hand's reach, you are a conditioned soul. Because Prabhu was telling also, where is mobile? Mobile is there or not? So we are conditioned to touch the mobile again and again. What to speak, we open it and start reading and messages and all that. But only if your mobile is not within your hand's reach, you are a liberated soul. Good. So you are a liberated soul currently. He is saying, but you are there on laptop. Okay, that is Sevan. I know it is Katha. You will not read a message, a text message, WhatsApp message, YouTube videos. All that is not there. Just keep yourself away from mobile. You are a liberated soul. Now we have, earlier I had Airtel connection, in which when the mobile is kept in the locker, it would not ring only. You are calling me, the call is not reaching me, it is not able to reach. Now Jio is there, so if I keep in the locker, it rings. What do you call that? Range is more, or something, signal is better, something like that. So in between I was practicing, I would keep it in the locker, lock it, and after 1 hour is over, 12 o'clock I would check whether SMS, something, or 1 o'clock, 1 hour later, something. Some days, few days I followed that. But again afterwards I kept it with me, next to me. So that is the problem. So better take our mobile as a Pratikul and Varjanam. Keep yourself away. Keep it at a safe distance, unreachable. Then you will be liberated and you will be able to, in the many things, bhakti can be done, na? That. न शोचते न कांक्षति समस्त सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद bhaktim labhate param. Then he can, when he is in the mode of goodness, he is not in passion and hankering for something, he is not in ignorance, lamenting for something, he is all living it regularly, then he can walk on the path of bhakti. So when you are away from your mobile, your bhakti will start. We do bhakti with mobile, we do mobile bhakti only. We are so devoted to mobile. It is called a mobile bhakti. And we are immobile because of mobile. Mobile is only name only. The mobile holder is immobile. He is not able to move. He is only glued down there. He is immobile. How many of you seen? You get so absorbed in mobile. Sometimes this urge you are supposed to go, you are postponing by a few minutes at least. How many of you seen? It's very addictive and very dangerous. Yes. Any other?
You are mentioning about the impersonal dealings will lead trouble we face trouble in chanting.
Yeah.
So how do we know that we are dealing impersonally at the same time? How to improve?
How many of you seen that you take care of many things in your mobile, but then devotees you tend to neglect here and there. You don't even look at them sometimes. See, mobile we look very carefully. What is the message? Very intently. Yes, bro, I'll do. Looking at that person. How many of you have dealt with that? Yeah, that way? Yeah, we do that. That is impersonal. Look at him. Keep the mobile away. Yes, Prabhu. Like that. Prabhupada, in the early days when he was, I think, Bhavuri or somewhere, was typing on the typewriter, and a hippie came. So, Swamiji, I want to ask you something. Okay, just have a seat. Wait a minute. So, Prabhupada completed that statement, whatever, that full stop. Then he kept the typewriter aside. Then he turned to him and said, yes, what that you want to ask? So, Prabhupada, the founder Acharya, he kept the typewriter aside and gave time to that hippie. And the hippie, what he asked? So you are divorced, isn't it? Prabhupada said, no. I gave up my wife. I took sannyas. That means divorce, correct? Prabhupada said, no, that is not divorce. But you said you gave up your wife. Yeah. So that is divorce, no? He's not understanding. He doesn't know sannyas. So he's saying you divorced your wife, no? So then he's confused. Maybe he has not officially given divorce. That legal papers might not have been signed. Something like that. But he never stayed with his wife. He gave up his wife. So he's a divorcee only, no? But still, Prabhupada is so personal with him. People should be loved and things should be used. But what we do, we love things, mobiles, gadgets, and we discard them. What is that thing? So we need to be very personal. Vaishnava Seva means actually we should become humble menial servant. I tell in my lectures. In general, we are servants of all the devotees. And when a devotee comes in front of us, we are his personal servant. Personal servant is very heavy job, isn't it? Personal servant means whatever that person says, you have to provide that. You have to do it. You have to keep everything else aside and do only what he says. So in general, we are servants of all the Vaishnavas, but when a devotee is in front of us, we are his personal servant. If you act like that, there will not be any impersonal dealing. Impersonalism troubles. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 5th verse of 12.5. What is that? Arjuna also asked, Avyaktam yoga vittama. So, what is the answer? He says, Avyakta hi gatir dukkham deva vadviravapyate. What is the beginning? Klesho adhikatarastesham. Avyakta asakta chetatam. So the path is troublesome only because of the attachment to impersonal. Klesho adhikatarastesham. Avyakta asakta. Avyakta hi gatir dukkham. After giving up it also, in one comes to bhakti, that impersonal tendencies trouble him. Impersonal, Lord being, Supreme being impersonal. Whether he will really have form. Form is limiting. So it's very troublesome. So to the degree we have impersonal dealing, impersonal behavior, impersonalism in our heart, To that degree, chanting will be very difficult. Because chanting is the most personal. Radha Krishna, divine couple, are interviewing you, and they are asking, "Do you love us?" Yeah, I love you. Yes, they say, "I love you too." But we doubt whether you love. Yeah, I love you. It is very personal. 2 hours we are doing that only. They are asking, "Are you loving us?" Yeah, I love you. It's very personal. So if we are 22 hours we are impersonal, we are having impersonal approach. In 2 hours suddenly you will change the knob and put it in personal mode. It cannot be. That's how I can say we feel sleepy. I mean, interview, do you feel sleepy? You are gone for interview for job, like this Cognizant or Microsoft, and then he asks a question. Will it happen? Like that. And or he's asking question and he's asking continuously. You said something, sir. What? You said you cannot be distracted by anything. So why it happens we are distracted while dealing with the devotees, or we are drowsy and devotee speaking. Sometimes it can be very gross also. Gautam was saying that some Sardarji boy was devoting, and he has so many things to tell only, hardly anything to ask. And Gauram Guru was hearing him, and then Gauram Guru on the sofa said, like that. And Prabhu, are you hearing? You go on. I'm hearing. He's very tired. It's long before. Because, this fellow has nothing to ask. He's just, what you call, dumping. He has to just dump it on some sadhu. Gauram Guru, he would find is available. And then Gauram Guru also then, anyway, I can't run away from this boy. So I might as well complete my sleep also. Like that. Some boys are like that, na? Prabhu, I want to talk to you. Okay, tell what it is. No, we'll sit in the garden and for 2 hours, 2 hours. Some boys, how many of you have such boys? At least one boy will be there to purify you. And in 2 hours, he will be just same messages of 2 minutes only, but he will be just elaborating in 2 hours, the same thing. They are time wasters to some extent. Should be careful. In the name of preaching, they should not slaughter you. You should slaughter their material life, make chutney out of it. But you should not get carried away. Yes.
So like in personal and devotional life, like we'll try to control so many things in different aspects.
Impersonal.
No.
Okay.
Personal
In personal devotional life.
and devotional life. So like we'll exercise so many different aspects to control ourselves. So the question here which I'm trying to ask is, so we are supposed to be controlled by the Lord. That means once that control is taken by the Lord, automatically, so this control in all the different things, that will be handled. That means you mentioned devotional service is a key to the sense control. That means all aspects will be done if a devotee is under the control of the Lord. So how that thing will happen?
By surrendering to Guru's order. Guru is completely controlled by Krishna. He is a puppet in the hands of Krishna. So when you become puppet in the hands of Guru, then everything is done nicely. Krishna doesn't directly interfere in our life. He interferes through Guru. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasada. And Guru is pleased. And Krishna's mercy also comes through Guru. And Krishna's mercy, instructions, everything is coming through Guru. Guru is repeating it. In fact, sometimes loudly repeating in our ears only. And we are deaf. What? What, Guru Maharaj, what you are saying? We can't hear. But we are not hearing him only. So one should hear Guru. Then life will be controlled, very nicely controlled. Instructions of the Guru should be always ringing in the heart. Disciple can even take a printout and keep it in the pocket or something. Best is to have it in the heart hanging. These two instructions that Prabhupada received from Bhakti Thakur, they were always there. You can see in Tirupathi Goswami Maharaj, Lilamurti says that on the bank of Radhakund in 1936, Bhakti Thakur said, no, that whole mutt is on fire, Agun Jalde. If only I could pluck out the marble, sell it in the market with the money obtained, print books and distribute them. Whenever you get money, print books. So it is written there on the bank of Radhakund. These words of my spiritual master kept ringing in my mind. Whenever you get money, print books. Whenever you get money, print books. Whenever you get money, print books. It only, he said once only, but it kept ringing again and again. So the instructions of the spiritual master should keep ringing in the heart of the disciple. If not, at least let us have it print out or something and keep reading daily basis. At least some prominent instruction. First and foremost is, please, my dear disciple, here are the beats. Chant 16 rounds of good rounds. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Pronounce clearly, hear attentively. Put your energy. Then attend morning program. We have, all gurus have given instructions. If they are known to good disciples, sometimes we make a nice lamination and give it to so many others, and we ourselves may not be following. How many of you feel like that? You know? On Vyas Puja Day especially, for every guru, it may not be every year, but somewhere or the other they have instructions of the spiritual master, nicely, at least print out, if not laminated, and it is gifted to all the disciples. And all the disciples are happy. So sometimes we may be the coordinator for that service, and we give hundreds and thousands of devotees, and we ourselves are not remembering what Guru's instructions are. So it's good to have it. One word of spiritual master can deliver us from the cycle of birth and death. What to speak of those so many instructions. They said that the instructions of the spiritual master are like the Lakshman Rekha, in which Sita, like a conditioned soul of the disciple, is very safe. The moment the disciple steps out of the instruction, immediately Maya in the form of Ravan will hijack, kidnap us. And so many times Maya kidnaps, because we don't remain within the instructions. Is it okay? Should we end? Anybody online? Okay, so we'll end here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.